It is me. Stop, drop, and roll on. And I'm, boy, up close and personal. Anyway, y'all, it is Monday the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Saturday was, yeah, today is the 5th. And this is something that I'm not trying to be any kind of way or anything. Stuff comes to me when it's supposed to, I think. But first of all, let me talk about this. I slept so hard last night. When I woke up, it just looked like camels had been walking under my eyes all night long. And they just left a path of craziness. And so I had to get the eye patches out. But it's looking better. It's getting there. And I don't use them all the time, but when I have to, I have to. I can't be going places, but I can be going places, and I have in the past gone places looking special, but today, yeah. Anyway, for the past, I would say at least 4 years, I have been trying to sum up this feeling that I have. I haven't been able to put it into words. My sister and I even had this conversation, and we were 4 years apart, and so she would always get to things before I did, obviously, and most of the time, when I would tell her, well, do you ever feel like this, or what do you think about this, she would already have an answer because she had been there for a minute or two. But this is something that she and I discussed that we had not been able to put our finger on it. Just like kind of hone it in and bring it, like we could state how we felt. We just couldn't put it in words that made sense, or at least I couldn't. And it was a conversation that we had, or sometimes we would just kind of allude to it, like, do you ever feel like those type of conversations? So the other day, a friend of mine, I have a friend named Fanny, and Fanny has Markwell syndrome. And it's kind of like when we go out, and I've told y'all this before, we kind of we kind of look like how that movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito was in, because we have very different statures. But when we met in the workplace, and we just kind of, I don't know, we were just kind of instantly like kind of drawn to each other, and it's not anything other than it's friendship, and it's a different type of friendship. We don't talk every day. We don't do anything really every day. But from time to time, she'll send me a picture of how she's doing and what she's looking like, and if she done changed something up. And she is one of the most stylish people I know. Seriously, y'all. And she just has a way about her. With her ailment, she does what she's going to do, and she fights for what is important to her. And that is the takeaway from our friendship. It's like I always wonder and like look at stuff and wonder, what is this person getting from me? And in turn, when like I said before, friendship goes like this. And sometimes one person is doing this and the other person is doing this, but it should be flipping, and the other person should be doing this, and sometimes you should be pulling. And so I kind of settled what it is on both sides that one person is getting from the other. But the other day, probably it's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, that it might be a week and a half, I'll say, to be closer to true. She sent me something, and when I read it, I had to read it 3 times, and I couldn't believe it. And I just immediately started sharing it with people. Like, my version of share is I'm sending you an instant message. Not an instant message, but a email, a text, a email, something like that. I'm not on, y'all know about me and social media. This is pretty much it for me. And so she sent me something, and it's something that is written, and I'll be looking down here because I had to figure out how I was going to do this without getting all, just all convoluted and stuff. But this was written by a gentleman named Mario de Andrade. And I think he lived in Sao Paulo, and he died in 1945. It says that he was a poet, a novelist, an essayist, and a musicologist, and he was one of the founders of Brazilian modernism. But he wrote this soliloquy called My Soul Has a Hat. And this is what Fanny sent to me. And when I read it, like I said, I read it 3 times. And after that third time, I just lost it because it pretty much summed it up for me. I counted my years and realized that I have less time to live by than I have lived so far. I feel like a child who won a pack of candies. At first he ate them with pleasure, but when he realized that there was little left, he began to taste them intensely. I have no time for endless meetings where the statutes, rules, procedures, and internal regulations are discussed, knowing that nothing will be done. I no longer have the patience to stand absurd people who, despite their chronological age, have not grown up. My time is too short. I want the essence. My spirit is in a hurry. I do not have much candy in the package anymore. I want to live next to humans, very realistic people who know how to laugh at their mistakes and who are not inflated by their own triumphs and who have taken responsibility for their actions. In this way, human dignity is defended and we live in truth and honesty. It is the essentials that make life useful. I want to surround myself with people who know how to touch the hearts of those whom hard strokes of life have learned to grow with sweet touches of the soul. Yes, I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry to live with the intensity that only maturity can give. I do not intend to waste any of the remaining desserts. I am sure they will be exquisite, much more than those eaten so far. My goal is to reach the end satisfied and at peace with my loved ones and my conscience. We have 2 lives, and the second begins when you realize you only have one. Y'all, I'm telling you the truth. That summed it up for me. And the only thing that I would add or could add to that is when I'm at the end, I want to know that that I have peace with my loved ones and with my conscience. But I also want to know that I have done the best and walked the best life out that God has given me. That I've gotten as close as I humanly possibly can to what He had, designed for me to do while I was here on this earth. That's the only thing that I would add to that. And so like I said, I sent this out to everybody that I thought they would receive it. And I am really, 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 I didn't never grappled. I knew I was going to share this with y'all here on YouTube. But I have asked Scrankton, and if you are new on my channel, whatever, Scrankton is my mom. And I sent this to her. And at some point during this month, I am going to ask her to, it might be tomorrow if she has time or whenever, to, from her standpoint, because obviously she's older than I am, and I've sent this to her. I want her to give her take on this. I just really, and if y'all have something, to say about this, good or bad or indifferent or whatever, leave some comments below because I'm really interested to know what people think about this. And again, it's called My Soul Has a Hat. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day.